Folks, good morning. I'm going to continue our production for Elemental Key, page 11. This is stream number 9, moving through the avatars of elements. So give me a second here just to punch the button so folks can catch wind of what I'm doing, and then we'll just dive right on into it. Cool. It sounds like the sound comes clear. That's important, right? That's something that we're doing here. There and there, and no need to punch that signal. Blurp, and that's blurped, and that is blurp. And then I'm gonna blurp a bunch of buttons here in Discord real quick to all my native homies. There, and then blurp, blurp, and just a few more, blurp, blurp, and then what? This is the last one, blurp. Cool beans, and it looks like signal's clear, so let's get in it. I got about an hour, I got about 80 minutes I could put into this morning. I had a blast listening to Terran and Destructor Boy yesterday, Saturday, talking about his Runekeeper design. If you haven't caught on to Indestructible Boy, do so. He's wicked, but listening to him and his crew talking shop, super productive time for me just to sit back and relax. So I got some earthbending done, and I will probably manipulate this a bit just to get some of this earth ground out. I just want to put a little bit more color into it. So that is what I am doing right now. I'm going to put some color in on it. I think I want to push it a little bit like that. Let's go with let's do a search for cavern floor. No, I don't think I need somebody's art print. Let's import that. Where am I? Meow. Here I am. Yeah, we'll spike this a bit. Yeah, that's not very light at all. Let's find something. Just going to put some color into these things, and then we're going to move back into the draw later. Yeah, like that. No. No. There. Where am I at? Here I am. Hi. It's time for coffee. Am I on screen? Barely. Barely. There you are. You know, if I'm leaning into my picture, it means I don't have it zoomed enough. So learn from the past, Kearney, and keep it tight. Oh man, I am loving this. I don't know, boy. I am at an indecision because I don't know. Once my Hashi birthday commission is finished, I don't know if I want to commit that time at night to to streaming my Kinsei rework production, or if I want to work on the spell point artificer or spell point sorcerer. And boy, that is compelling differences there. There's also revising and then re-uploading core mechanics with the revisions to the color traditions of magic for sorcerer, which I was able to help clean up. You know what? The nice thing about Tap Untap Burn mechanics is that it's a great opportunity to clean up some of the issues that exist inside of 5e. Like my revised sorcerer resolves the coffee lock issue by removing, instead of having sorcery points, having spell slots converted to sorcery points back to spell slots, by limiting what the spell slots can do by having them just manipulate color instead of creating spell points. So you still get the same firepower, but you don't have that annoyance of having the issue about should I be taking long rests or not, because the revision resolves that for you. The tradition of white magic and the arcane ward, the language is gray, so I just was able to modify it, and I'll have to upload that. Maybe that's what I'll do first, is upload the changes to the color subclasses so that you can see that by using color magic, you can, instead of having any abjuration spell grant you a temporary hit points to your arcane ward, instead have it anytime you spend white mana. Regardless of what spell you're using, you can gain temporary points. And since the Warlock invocations don't spend any mana to cast, that eliminates the arcane ward issue. So it's fun little slop like that we can find and then fix through the spell point mechanics is a small personal victory on my part of just cleaning up that language. So I mean, the PHP could clean up the language, and maybe they will in the 3.5 revision. Is whenever you spend a spell slot to cast an abjuration spell, that would be a very small, simple change that they could implement into the language, but it would require reprinting. And since they're going through the process of reprinting some of the mechanics in the 5.5 redo, maybe that is an opportunity for them to make that fix. And I will be very anxious to see if they have eyes on these tasks and if these are priorities in their redesign, or if it's even something they considered. So acknowledging where you make mistakes in your design and being open to making fixes is honestly one of the big advantages that independent creators have that utilize PDFs for publication, as opposed to large print houses that invest ridiculous amounts of money into paper resources. Because once you commit to paper, it's hard to accept and admit that you make a mistake, because errata is garbage. If it's errata, it can be ignored, or people might not even be aware of it, and they don't realize when you evolve and adapt. As opposed to PDFs, you can just upload a new PDF. And so anyone that gets the PDF is like, oh yeah, they made a change. What did they do? Oh yeah, good fix. Or they never know the difference because they're only just now acquiring the PDF for the first time. So I'm excited about that. I'm looking forward to seeing how they roll out. I'm looking forward to the fixes I got going on. Just always looking to have bigger and better, not bitter. We're just going to keep moving forward in life and keep making a better life for everybody. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about Boros in the Ravnica setting, but I just keep thinking of different things to do as subclasses and options for the Boros Legion. And I think it's unfair that I invest so much brain time on Boros specifically, considering I don't really care about their ideals. It's just something about the red-white magic mix that it's just so compelling for some reason in the design space for me. So I'm still trying to figure out how I want to proceed with that. I know that obviously I can produce unique artwork for these different character ideas, and then have those up in production. And I know that I can do design space here on YouTube when I build them. It's just a matter of, is that something that I would keep as Patreon content specifically and then actually launch a Patreon page with that intention, or if it's something I should put out as pay what you want onto the DMsGuild, knowing that not a lot of people are really going to be interested in purchasing it. But it's still something else to notch. So I don't know. I'm still figuring that out. I don't know what the right thing to do is. I guess I don't really have to make any decisions right now because it's still in the ether. But I wanna know what my plans are and how I'm supposed to proceed. So I'm pretty happy with this stuff, and I'm gonna drop it down in opacity a little bit so it just blends in a little bit better to what's I got going on. There. And now I'm going to grab whatever we got going on over here. Maybe we got some interesting... No, we really don't. Nothing, not a lot of diversity here in the shadows, which is there we go. We'll do that. I can go in here. Oops. Yeah. Go in here and play with these shadows a little bit. I love terrain. Mountains and swamps and rocky surfaces like this. I just absolutely love illustrating this stuff. And that is big shout out and thanks to Bob Ross, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have the earworm my entire life. I used to play with Legos when I was 5 years old on Sunday mornings before my mom and dad would make pancakes. And Bob Ross would be on the screen, and I would be just watching him make landscapes while I was making castles and stuff using Legos, and that kind of just predisposed me to wanting to be a fantasy art illustrator in the first place. And God bless my parents; they really just encouraged me to pursue that, and just whatever, it just kept me out of trouble. Honestly, so it was super easy for them just to let me chill in front of the TV like 80s kids did. But I didn't realize how much Bob Ross just kind of seeped into my head. And he had an episode about where he was answering fan mail, and one of them was a colorblind viewer that was interested in painting like he did, and so he's like, how can I do this? And Bob was like, well, you can do the tech. They did what they could. As Bob Ross is like, well, you can use these techniques, and it's just using black and white paint. And then so he then proceeded to make a landscape using only black and white art. But that wasn't what the viewer was asking. The viewer was really asking, what can I do to codify color because I can't see it? How can I blend colors like you do? How can I take wads of paint where they all look black and gray to me and turn them into the proper type of oranges and yellows and greens to make a realistic landscape like you do? even though I don't have the tools to do it. And of course, in the 70s and 80s, there is no answer to that because they didn't have the technology for it. But once Photoshop came on the scene, that really made the difference for us, so that we could then begin to manipulate color as well. And like you can see, as long as I have a good color reference, I can come up here and I can drop the color in. And even though at the beginning of the stream this was mostly a gray piece, I can just paint in the color, and then I can just let it fade in a little bit so it feels better. So yeah, there we go. I'm pretty happy with that. And so that is going to, yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with that. If anyone sees anything wrong with this that I'm not catching, you're certainly welcome to check below at the Twitter and hit me up on that. And if you got a better color reference for me to use, I don't mind painting it over again. I'm just trying to figure this thing out like the rest of us. So I'm pretty happy with where we're at right now. Let's go back up into here and get there. We'll hide that reference. And see, this was the Jurger that I'd used, but it's too passive. So I had to make some change, and plus he just kind of looked boring. So I had to make those changes. And it's pretty easy for me to resolve that. But I can still scalp off this guy to duplicate, beep. Wait, beep. Don't need that. Beep. I can merge that group. I could probably still steal off of this guy. How's this do? Yeah, not bad. Yeah, that already looks better. It already looks better. So yeah, we'll just do something fiendish like that. It's not cheating if it's your own illustration. So that's what we're doing here. We're stealing off our own illustrations. That's great. Where are we at? Just going to pull this up into the reference area. Bloop. He doesn't need to be any better than that because we're going to focus on Drow today. She's coming along freaking great. So I want to clean her up in the time that I got left, which is a whole freaking hour. Holy Hannah. I could have her finish and then move back into the Durger before this session is over, but I'm feeling stir crazy. What is it? Oh, what is it that I'm feeling? I think I need more water. I think that's what it is. I gotta say, man, I picked up some weight during this holiday season. Me sitting on my ass a lot. I got this fascia problem with my foot that's keeping me from walking around a lot. I can't put pressure on it for a long time because it tears. I've got a tear in my fascia on the bottom of my foot, and every time I step, it presses on it, makes it spread, and that tears it a little bit again. So it's having a really slow healing process, which is super obnoxious. But if my body wants me to sit still, I'm going to sit still. And I got this cool little ball. God willing, I can... No, that's super slippery. I'm going to have to figure out... I got this ball. It's hard as stone to put on my foot, but the damn thing keeps rubbing out. It keeps rolling away from me. When I try to... Oh, there we go. I just think I just got to get proficient with using it. By the time I get good at using it, I won't need it anymore. It's like a wasted skill. I hate that. You get good at something... Oh. That's the stuff right there. Oh, you can't see that, but boy, that feels really good. All right, I'm going to stop doing that because you guys came here to see me paint, not mess around with my foot. So I'm gonna get back into this here, so I don't waste your time or mine. But that's absolutely what my body wanted. All right, so let's see. We're gonna fold up stone. We're gonna open back up wind. We're working on legs right now. Bloop, bloop, bloop. So let's just do that. And that doesn't seem right. I want to get rid of those. That's too much button. Like down the side is, I think it's okay, but not in the front. There and if I lean in too much, I need to zoom in more. So here, let's do that. I'm gonna put this here like that. Here and here and here. Narp. I'm gonna merge all this business down here. No. Let's not have my face push off the screen. There we go. Where am I at? There I am. Hello. Hi, coffee time. Fall off the screen, got a drink. It's not really hydration, but at least it's trying to be attentive. God's work. Loving it. Tense. Too tense. Too tense. I'm thinking of I got trauma kicking through me right now. I can feel it. Stuff is triggering in my head. And it makes me clamp my fingers tight, like I'm trying to grip someone's hand. I have to remain aware of that to not screw up my grip. Stupid trauma. It's interesting how painting lets you kind of turn. Like I'm not really guiding what I'm doing. I'm watching what I'm doing, and I'm just letting my hands do it. Like like I know I need to have better musculature here, so my body's trying to sculpt that musculature here out of the digital paint. But while that's happening, my mind drifts, and depending on what the composition is, will depend on what it drifts into. So I think this whole structure here can afford to be a little smaller. And depending on what I'm working on, it'll take me to different places in my memory. And sometimes I will, and sometimes I won't know what it is. Like I won't be, you don't even, like the way that you don't pay attention to what you're painting, you also don't necessarily pay attention to what you're thinking about. And a lot of people do this, like when they're just going through their life, they've got these memories that are spinning through their head, but the chatter is so constant that we don't really pay attention to what it is that's actually going on inside of us. And then we just start to realize, God, I'm so tense. Why am I so tense? And they've already forgotten what they were thinking about that led them to that tension. So being able to sit back and observe yourself and what it is that you're remembering will help guide you to that place that your nervous system is trying to guide you to. Your nervous system is tugging on strings of thought that are creating a response inside of your body. And the tension that you feel inside your body, since you can feel it, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be like an early warning system. That's like, hey, this is something that you're resonating on, and you need to address it to find out what it is, so that it doesn't lurk inside of you and cause you to carry this tension out of your head into your conversation, so you don't have to hurt other people in the process. I don't think a lot of us really get trained on that sort of thing. I know I haven't been. I'm having to figure this stuff out for myself, but it's fascinating doing so. There. Yeah, that feels pretty good. I like that. Since that's all bound down, I can come back in here. Where are we at? 7:25. Still got a half hour to play. Where am I? There I am. Hi. I know I don't talk a lot, mainly because there's nobody here in chat. But I mean, that's kind of the thing. If you don't talk, no one's going to want to try and engage with you. If there's no one here to engage with you, you don't know what to talk about. So I end up just kind of falling into my head. And then when I realize I'm inside my head, then I start telling you this emotional process that happens about being inside of my head. It's weird, but I don't really mind sharing the process that I'm going through. Actually, you know what? I'm going to grab some coffee here real quick, because my coffee just got cold, and that's no bueno. So I'm going to turn this back on and heat it back up. There's a number of benefits to being involved in art, whether it's sculpting, painting, cutting paper and collaging, or music. It's all this fascinating empty headspace where if you keep at your art long enough, your body knows what to do without you having to actively instruct it. It's just a matter of like in music is where are you listening inside the music space, or in this instance in painting or in sculpting and other things, it's you're focusing your attention where you're looking, but you don't actively participate in it. You're just pointing your attention in a direction. You're letting your body do the thing. And then the end result equals cool. And you're kind of a witness as much as the creator, which I love. I love getting lost in the moment and then popping out of it and realizing there's something new here. And then I can be like, well, I love that thing, or I hate that thing, and let's change it. Far more former than latter, but sometimes I have to autocorrect. Course correct, not autocorrect, but course correct. But that escape, it's such empty space. Art is super healthy because letting your brain turn off like that lets the chatter roll, and you haven't, since you're not actively focusing concentration on what you're doing, it allows you to have more opportunity to have active focus with what you're feeling and what you're hearing inside your own head. So that space becomes therapeutic for you to be able to reapproach the day and like I was saying, feel the things that are tripping off inside of you that could cause harm in conversations that you have coming up in your life that you don't, and have an opportunity to be more active and engaging. So I really appreciate that opportunity. And as far as I know, art of some sort, any kind of art that you're engaged in, allows you to access that space. So I think it's wonderful that I've found the opportunity here to do this stuff in the morning at the beginning of my day, because it helps me clear my plate of stuff that's still rattling around from yesterday. And I think it allows me to have more patience and an opportunity to be a little bit more empathetic with the people that I engage with in my workplace, instead of them being another reason for me to be triggered. So I know I'm in a privileged place to have that opportunity, like to have to work from home and to have that experience. But I just cannot express my gratitude enough that I have that opportunity. And some people don't have that chance until like Saturday, or whenever their weekend is, whenever their time off is. God willing that they have time off, and they're not trapped into jobs that hasn't working. I used to work 13 out of 14 days. I had a day off every other week, and that was probably one of the most stressful times in my life. So I am very, very blessed to be in the position I'm in. I have that freedom of time, that freedom of space, and that freedom of thought to be able to relax and feel where it is that I'm at and where I'm moving to and what I'm bringing to conversations with other people, being more active and trying to provide empathy. And I get triggered just like everyone else. But it's trying to be aware of when those triggers happen, so that I'm not just causing more grief to people and feeding into each other's pain. I don't know. Maybe I don't make sense. Maybe I make sense to somebody. Hopefully, these are the thoughts that I have. Time to zoom in, buddy. Thank you. Let's grab that. Make that a highlight. Less floof. Heavier fabric shouldn't floof so much. It's gonna have that kind of rising effect, but it can't be light. It's not. I mean, this is only medium armor, so it's gonna have some lightness to it. It's got mobility, kind of like barbarians. They aren't weighed down by the armor so much, but it doesn't. It's not cloth, you know. So it can move and it can fluff and it can flit about a little bit. But it's not hardened like not nearly as hardened as like heavy armor is. So I want to have that airy element to get the airiness expressed to it, but it also has to be something that can help deaden a blow. Now we're thinking with portals. Good. Good, better. Good, better, best. There we go. Now I'm feeling much better about how this person's posing. Where am I at? There I am. Hi. Nom 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 coffee. Whoa, whoa, whoa. We can't just merge the entire document. That's ridiculous. You can't do that. Do not do that. Let's save this real quick before I screw up for reals. Oy vey. I've done that before. That's a sad, sad time. You know what? I'm going to go so far as to save as a whole new document on a whole new day. Where are we at? We're at 12:20 today. There. That's there. And we're going to weigh this down a little bit more. God, that was terrifying. Do not merge the entire document, sir. Please do not know. Happy. Very, very happy with these results. Where are we at? 7:45. Still got 15 minutes ish. Pretty pleased. Pretty pleased. Where am I? Am I still on screen? Jeez, I'm leaning in like crazy. Let's zoom in there. Where am I at? Here I am. Hi. Let's get me back on screen here. Much better. No. What? FYI? Thank you. Oh, I thought the bots had forgotten about me. I really appreciate your presence. You know what? If bots were real people and that was a donation, then if I consider each bot a donation from the algorithm gods, then I feel blessed. Thank you so much for your presence. Whatever that link is, obviously it's weird, but I really appreciate you being here. And if you're real people, that would probably be a question. And I've only got about 5 minutes left. Ooh, shoot, I got only 5 minutes left. Sorry, bot. I don't really have time to answer whatever your question would have been if you're a real person. I'm going to assume the question is, when are you going to be done with all this art? It's like, well, after I get done with this piece, there's only I only have to design the playmat. I already got the mana tokens, or the key tokens, the different elemental and the color key tokens built, and those will be included with this. There's the editable list of disciplines that come with this. So if you want to switch up what color they're related to or which elements they're related to, I don't know why you would. They're pretty good. But you might want to add some. Like you could add to the list because it's just a spreadsheet. So if you wanted to add, I mean, there's already 50 some odd disciplines that you can pick from to learn. But if you wanted to add to that list, you certainly can. And so the spreadsheet will be included for you to include or change or edit or remove from. And then beyond that, well, let's pan back. Let's take a look at this guy, and then we'll conceal the references. Man, I am loving this. So I still need to work on the background cavern, and then clean up the Durgar that the Drow is fighting. And then this piece will pretty much be done. So we got another illustration to do after this one, and that'll be for the whirlwind attack, and then. We got the playmat to do, and then I need to import all the page imagery into the Word document, and then stream all the hyperlinks. And I think it's only the 20th. I suspect I'll have the. I think I should be done before New Year, so I'll have plenty of time to work on these on the break between Christmas and New Year. To lock this thing down, and then so I'll be doing this during the day, and I'll be switching between this map production for the Eberron adventure book that I'm working on with Andy Healy, and the birthday commission for Hashi that just got approved. The finals for that got approved, so I'm moving on to detail work there. So. Once I get this taken care of, then I only have one more illustration and the playmat, so that's just 2 pages I need to work on. And then all the importing, which should only take a day or less, hopefully. And then this gets to publish, probably on the... Let's look at the calendar here real quick. That will probably publish... I reckon it'll publish on the 30th, maybe, perhaps on the 3rd. Super soon. I don't think I need to push it out to the new year, but I don't mind if I do or not. I'm already behind on production, so I may as well not hurry at this point. But once this is out of the way, then my morning stream is going to switch over to doing Eberron artwork for the Crystals of Mabar adventure that I'm working on with Andy. And then evening, once Hashi gets finished up, I will be switching over. I think the Tap Untap Burn production of various sorts, either the Spellpoint Warlock, Spellpoint Artificer, Spellpoint Sorcerer, or revising the Arcane Traditions for the Wizard. But there's a lot of stuff that's going. Oh yeah, there's also the Kinsei. That'll be in the same sort of format as this, but I'm going from a different approach. The Kinsei is going to be super cool. So I'll be working on that, and then offline production, I'm working on the command rules with Ukulele Bard to build a common language for controlling minions, summons, and armies, as well as kingdoms and guilds. That's currently being worked on offline as we go through the development and writing phase, but that will absolutely be a morning production piece, and that'll probably actually be my evening production work once that gets finalized, and I'll be probably oscillating between Crystals of Mabar and Command. Those are my 2 big productions right now, the 2 big books that I'm working on, and but yeah, I got a lot of production. I got Spellfire Mecha that I want to work on, but that probably won't be until later 2022. I also want to do War Mimics for Simics and Underdark and the Gatekeepers for Eberron, using Mimics as mounts and companion allies. But I really need to have the command book well under production for me to be able to do War Mimics. I also want to do Modronatron, which is a book of scaling Modron enemies. That's something I'm thinking about for 2022 as well. Got a lot in the pipeline. It's going to be a cool year. We'll see how fast it gets done. But production for me is speeding up. It's getting better and easier for me to be able to punch through ideas, and I'm getting more and more people involved with producing those ideas. So I'm not trying to shoulder it all on my own, so I can focus more on artwork and promotion and ideation and development instead of hard writing. I think that's smart. So anyway, I'm done. I'm rambling. I don't have a good outro, so this is my outro. I really appreciate you being here. Spread the word. Get involved. I really appreciate you. Drop me on Twitter or just ping on me here.